Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Well, welcome again to Kahului Hongwanji Buddhist Temple's Sunday YouTube online service. So glad that you're able to join us, and for this short time that we can listen to the Dharma together and just have an opportunity to express our appreciation. So today's service is our regular Sunday family service, and so we just have our regular order of the service. So we have already begun with the Kansho ringing, and then we will have the Vandana and Tisarana. Vandana is praising the Buddha's enlightenment, and the Tisarana is taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And then we will have the Sutra 12 homages, which is the English version of the Sutra Junirai. After that, we will recite the Golden Chain of Love, and I will share a Dharma message with you. Following that, we will recite the Metta, or the Loving Kindness Meditation, then sing the Nembutsu, and then we will have some closing words, close the service, and some announcements. So thank you so much once again for being here. Hope everyone is staying safe and well, and let us now begin our service. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Bhutang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Gods and men all bow in awe to Amida the revered. In Buddha's wondrous pure land, bodhisattvas gather round. Golden form like the mountain king, steadfast like the elephant's pace. Buddha's eyes like the blue lotus. Thus I bow to Amida. Buddha's form round like the moon, bright like 1,000 suns and moons.
Buddha's voice like the nightingale, thus I bow to Amida. Buddha's figure on Kanon's crown, adorned with wondrous features. Buddha subdues evilness, thus I bow to Amida. Beyond compare, Amida's pure virtue shining clear like space. All benefit from Buddha, thus I bow to Amida. Bodhisattvas all renown, Maras to praise Amida. Primal vow made for our sake, thus I bow to Amida. Golden ponds where lotus bloom, towers a throne of goodness. Buddha lives like the mountain king, thus I bow to Amida. Bodhisattvas come afar, attaining true happiness. They revere the Buddha's face, thus I bow to Amida. All life changes like the dew, we have no permanent self. Buddha teaches this law to all, thus I bow to Amida. No evil in the Pure Land, and no fear of evil paths. Faithful hearts honor Buddha, thus I bow to Amida. Saving us through many ways, no tempters, no evil friends. Birth leads to enlightenment, thus I bow to Amida. Amida, thus I have praised, virtues boundless like the sea. These virtues shared with others, for birth into the Pure Land. Naman Dabu, Naman Dabu, Naman Dabu, Naman Dabu, Naman Dabu, Naman Dabu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Golden Chain of Love. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Welcome again, and I'd like to share a few thoughts about the Buddhist teaching with you at this time. So please join me now in Gassho as we recite the Nembutsu, the calling voice of Amida Buddha, boundless light, boundless compassion. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. I'd like to talk about growing up today. So people, human beings, us guys, our species, are naturally very concerned about growth. We always have been. From our earliest origins, we've observed the process of growth all around us, in plants, in animals, and of course in our own children. It was clear to early humans that the growth of living things was essential to survival, and people learned that without growth, life is impossible. Eventually, through applying observation and our intelligence, we humans learn to raise crops and raise animals ourselves, not just leave it to nature. And so the process of growth was harnessed, you might say, by humans. And we began to understand ourselves as growers. We used the forces of nature to control our environment and improve our condition of life. So far so good. Sounds good in theory. Thus, people were able to enjoy an abundance that had not been possible before, at least not in the same way, abundance of certain things. However, in harnessing the power of growth, the abundance that we created was seldom shared out equally. In acquiring the skills of growing, clever human beings immediately learned to dominate and really to enslave those who were weaker than them, so as to acquire not only abundance for themselves, but also power and control over their fellow beings. Instead of appreciating the value of every being in the world equally, humans learned to create hierarchies and ranks whereby the powerful were praised merely because they possessed power. Even the consciousness of having more than others became desirable, and so human beings learned to desire and to value status and rank above all things. In this way, we human beings began our long history of depriving each other and all the other inhabitants of the earth of our natural self-worth and freedom. Strangely, the acquisition of power and abundance did not bring about wonderful happiness among human beings, not even among the lucky ones who managed to establish themselves among the powerful. Rather, it created the conditions whereby people were either tormented by want, by the desire for wealth or power, or by the anxiety and fear that comes with possessing power, the fear of losing it. In Buddhist terms, this is not surprising. When Shakyamuni Buddha attained enlightenment, he taught that the source of all human unhappiness comes from our attachment to a false understanding of who we are. Possessing consciousness, it is easy for us to understand our existence as something solid and eternal. It is difficult for anyone to imagine himself or herself as not existing. So, deep inside, each of us harbors this secret belief that I alone will somehow avoid the reality of death. Other people will die, but not me. The problem with this delusion is that imagining ourselves as eternal, we expect to hold on to everything eternally. As a consequence, we are seldom able to enjoy or to appreciate even one single moment of our lives, which are in fact impermanent and ever-changing, each moment of life. We worry and fret about the past, and we suffer pangs of desire and anxiety over the future. Even more tragically, we cannot truly appreciate other beings at all. Imagining ourselves, each of us, imagining myself as the center of the universe, I see others as simply being there to revolve around me and so fulfill my desires. You see what we do, we put ourselves at the center and we see other people as just there for me in some way. With this self-centered attitude, everything we encounter in life is judged as to its relative value. That is to say, how well does this or that, he or she, serve my needs? The Buddha taught that with such a view, we can never attain peace or happiness. His teaching was for us to discover that we each exist solely because of others. We each exist only because of others, and as such, my life is totally dependent on the benevolence of others. True happiness, which we call enlightenment or awakening, is founded entirely on the total acceptance of all things, all beings, the embrace of everyone and everything equally. When we truly understand this, we discover that our attitude toward life has changed, and we experience a change in the way we understand ourselves and the way we experience life. So despite our belief in growth, which we sometimes call progress, people have not improved much since the beginning of human history. Wealth, power, and status are more than ever the primary values in our society. However, technology has now given us the ability to express our ignorant desires, what Shinran, the founder of Jodo Shinshu teaching, called our evil passions. Technology has given us the ability to express our evil passions, our negative passions, our self-centered mind on a staggering scale. For most of our history, we humans have been limited by our relatively primitive tools, and so we were forced to live, at least to some degree, in harmony with nature. In those conditions, we knew we had to give back to the earth, to return in some way her benevolence to us, if only in our own self-interest. Our limitations forced us to appreciate what we had. Most of us did not possess much because of the inequalities of society, of course, but regardless, we didn't possess much, and so we had to use what we had efficiently. We had to reuse everything as much as we could. We had to try to avoid waste, so there wasn't all this, plastic packaging and all that kind of stuff. People had to really reuse everything, eat all the food they had carefully, use all the parts of the animal, and so on and so on. But now our skills have vastly improved. Technological skills, our power to grow in the form of the manufacture and consumption of numberless inessential products and goods, completely dwarfs anything that was possible in the past. And the wealth and power it creates is equally great. And likewise, inequalities and the worship of status and rank have not diminished, but have increased in accordance with our expanding selfishness. We believe that everything we do must grow without limit, regardless of the disharmony this creates in the world. This deluded belief is causing the natural systems of the earth, this wonderful Mother Earth, who sustains our lives, not to grow, but to diminish. In the end, so long as we continue to embrace a self-centered view of ourselves, our growth will never bring peace and happiness to us or to the world. Shinran Shonin often spoke about the ship of Amida's vow, which is a symbol or a way of expressing the working of limitless wisdom and compassion, the power of life in this world. This ship appears to us when we recognize the existence and the extent of our self-centeredness. So long as our minds remain deluded by self-centeredness, we can never benefit others or ourselves. since all of our actions are essentially selfish and rooted in ignorance. Shinran often remarked that he himself lacked a mind of truth and sincerity. Realizing this, he took refuge in infinite wisdom and compassion, the true reality which our ignorance hides from us, but which is always working to awaken us all to happiness and to peace. When, through the working of Amida's compassionate vow, we awaken to our real condition, we can then finally begin to grow, truly grow, in wisdom and understanding, nurturing and sustaining all those around us and accepting all beings with equal love and compassion, just as we have been nurtured, sustained, and accepted. May we all quickly hear the calling voice of great compassion, realize our true condition as limited beings, and grow to be able to live each moment of life in true happiness and true peace. Thank you very much for listening, and let's close our reflections today by reciting the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo
Well, thank you again for joining us today and being part of our service. This COVID-19 situation, this pandemic, is really a very difficult time. It's, you know, we've gotten a little used to it, and things may be getting better because of the vaccine, but as we can see from the situation in other places in the world, particularly now in India, it's really a terrible situation. Really, very great suffering is going on in the world. So not just with us, but with people everywhere, and particularly in India right now. So I hope you will keep India in your thoughts, especially during this difficult time for them, and hopefully, between the vaccines and world and the efforts of other countries to help, maybe this will be alleviated. Some of this suffering will be alleviated quickly. I have a few announcements to make for this month. For May, we have 2 in-person services. So May 9th will be our Mother's Day. That's the following week, our Mother's Day service, and that will be an in-person service. Plus, we will also have the YouTube video. Then on May 23rd, in between there'll be just a video, just the video on Sunday, and then on May 23rd, the 4th Sunday of May, we will have our Gotane, the birthday of Shinran Shonin service, which will be an in-person service, and also along with the family gratitude remembrance. And then and so that will be in-person and online service. Also, May 30th, which is the 5th Sunday of May. So, some months, of course, will end up having 5 Sundays, and on that Sunday we'll take the week off. We will have no in-person and no video. So that week there will be no video. And then in June, just to let you know ahead of time, we'll have our regular online service every week, but on June 20th, Father's Day, we will also have an in-person service, and we will also be honoring our graduates, those in the congregation, in the temple membership who are graduating from school. Younger people who are graduating from school will be honored that day, and also we'll be honoring fathers, and that will be in person. And then also another in-person service on the 27th, which is our 4th Sunday, and we will be also it'll be a regular service, except for we will have the addition of our family gratitude remembrance. And as I said, every Sunday in June will also be a YouTube video. So thank you very much again for joining us. Please take a look at the scrolling text in case there's any other announcements. And let's conclude our service now by reciting the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.